Hello, I'm Professor Sarah Peverley of the University of Liverpool. I work in the field of medieval history and culture, especially on the literature and art produced in late medieval England. I'm recording this video message in support of the fundraising efforts to save and preserve the precious early 16th century roof at All Saints Church, Gazeley. This unique roof makes a significant contribution to medieval and early modern iconography. It's an artefact of great national importance, and it absolutely must be preserved from the water ingress and associated problems that threaten its survival. I was first made aware of the incredible roof in 2021 while researching medieval sciapods. A sciapod is a fictional monster from classical and medieval times that's rarely seen in English art and architectural decoration. Sciapods featured on medieval maps like the Mappa Mundi at Hereford Cathedral and in early travel literature such as Mandeville's Travels, and more rarely they featured in European churches. They were believed to be one of many fantastic or monstrous nations that lived at the wild edges of the world and which looked or behaved differently to people in the West. As fantastic humanoids, the sciapod had a single leg and an enormous foot, which it purportedly used to shade itself from the hot sun. Occasionally, sciapods were shown with two large feet, and almost always laid down shading themselves. The use of them as decorative objects on maps and in churches helped to signify the reach of God and the wonders of creation. Back in 2021, after identifying the only known example of a medieval sciapod in a Scottish church, I was researching what I thought was the only example of a sciapod in England, the one carved into a bench end at Dennington St Mary in Suffolk. As I dug around to see if any new work had been published on the Dennington sciapod, I stumbled across Simon Johnson's book, Men, Myth and Monsters, which featured new photography of the incredible roof at Gazeley and the sciapod featured on it. I was absolutely delighted to see that the sciapod at Gazeley and the one at Dennington were visually and stylistically related to each other, and I set about to learn more about this relationship. During my ensuing exchanges with Simon and Rob Pilsworth, who published Simon's lovely book, I came to learn more about the church and was provided with images and information about the roof. In return for their kind assistance, I was able to return the favour by helping them make several small advances in our knowledge of the carvings. The fruits of this collaboration featured in a second edition of Simon's book, the profits from which continue to go directly to All Saints to help the roof, like those of the first edition. The carvings raise important questions about the artistry, the devotional practices, and the cultural currency of the roof, and those responsible for its creation. Without protection, it simply will not survive for future generations to learn more about it, or for members of the public to visit the church and experience its rich and beautiful menagerie of medieval beasts, scatological scenes, floral designs, and the snapshots it preserves of secular and religious life. The roof is unique in capturing the values, the mindset, and the stories of the people of these islands. Gazeley's roof is a significant part of Britain's heritage, and its conservation is crucial to advancing our understanding of medieval and early modern culture. It's got a really important role to play in expanding our knowledge of church history, art history, cultural history, and communal identity, and it must be safeguarded. A decorative roof such as this is such a rare treasure. Most simply haven't outlasted centuries of religious reformation structural damage, rebuilding or decay. That this one has survived to the present day, and that its imagery remained hidden by shadows and cobwebs for so long is really quite incredible. To sum up, I absolutely support the fundraising efforts at All Saints in the strongest and most urgent terms. Please, please help this small church preserve its historical legacy and protect its important architectural fabric for the future. Thank you so much for listening.